This video will address math reporting and how to think about determining a single grade for mathematics. Today, we'll take a close look at a tool that outlines a process for establishing a single mark in mathematics. To get started, we need to reflect on the terms learning and gather and organize our relevant assessment data. Let's look back across the content that we've addressed this term. This visual reflects the WRDSB LRP topics. Note the color coding for each strand as it is addressed within a topic. Also, it's important to note that the social emotional learning strand is addressed throughout the year. However, the strand is not evaluated. While addressing each topic with our students, we would have gathered a variety of assessment data such as observations, conversations, and products. The emphasis of this assessment information might differ depending on the student, of course. Use your professional judgment to be selective about the data you will use. Which evidence represents independent demonstrations of learning? Which is more significant? Which captures and represents the student's current learning achievement? Then we'll determine the student's level of achievement based on our gathered evidence for each topic or strand. Use the evidence data which is more recent and most consistent or more consistent. Consider pieces of evidence that are relevant to the growth that the student is showing. Determine which pieces of evidence may be outliers due to various circumstances or considerations. Not all strands receive the same attention in the WRDSB long-range plans. We need to consider this when arriving at a single mark. For your class, which strands need more or less emphasis? Consider the time taken to address each strand. Also consider the depth and complexity of concepts addressed for each strand. The image on this slide shows that in primary term 1, there was a strong emphasis on number. Professional judgment is really important here. You've looked at student achievement across strands and recognize there's a greater emphasis on one or two strands. You now determine what level or mark best reflects the student's overall achievement in math for the term. Following a process allows us to be systematic and purposeful in our thinking. We know our students, and we reflect on our learning focus and the data that we've gathered so far. We can trust our professional judgment in assigning an overall mark. The mark is one part of communication with our parents. On the report card comments will also work with the mark to describe the snapshot of student achievements. The process and expectations for writing report card comments have not changed. You may, but are not required to, speak to student achievement in specific strands. This evidence from the classroom can help individualize reports for students. Remember, comments use parent or caregiver-friendly language. They also use asset-based language to communicate strengths, what the student does know and can do, and they describe next steps in learning. The Long Range Plan website provides links to the thinking tool discussed here today, as well as the assessment, evaluation, and reporting in math document, which provides specific information about reporting.